93. When a sublease is made, the following occurs. A primary responsibility for paying the rent remains with the original tenant, sublessor. B. Primary responsibility for paying the rent is transferred to the new tenant, sublessee. C. The original lease is terminated by the sublease. D. Possession of the property is transferred to the lessor, but for less than the full term. Correct answer is A. Primary responsibility for paying the rent remains with the original tenant, sublessor. When a tenant, the sublessor, subleases a property to a new tenant, the sublessee, the original lease agreement between the landlord, lessor, and the original tenant remains in effect. The sublease creates a new, separate agreement between the original tenant and the sublessee. The original tenant is still obligated to pay rent to the landlord according to the terms of the original lease. The sublessee pays rent to the sublessor, who then uses those funds, hopefully, to pay the landlord. If the sublessee fails to pay the sublessor is still responsible to the landlord. While the sublessee pays rent to the sublessor, they do not have a direct contractual obligation to the original landlord. A sublease does not terminate the original lease. It creates a secondary lease agreement under the umbrella of the original one. A full assignment of the lease, with the landlord's consent, would typically be required to release the original tenant from their obligations. In a sublease, possession is transferred to the sublessee, not the original lessor, landlord. The sublessee has possession for a period that is less than or equal to the remaining term of the original lease. Question 6.